Hello, Booktube. Chelsea the Reading Outlaw here to do a Let's Talk video. As you can see, we are keeping it very, very, very casual today. I'm currently filming this on a Thursday morning, and let me tell you guys, it's been a little bit of a rough week. Not even necessarily for me personally, so much as for some very dear friends of mine who are going through some stuff that unfortunately, as a female on the internet, that's comes with the territory from time to time. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. I really have been struggling with making this video because I am human and thus I am torn and I am facing a dichotomy because what I want to do very, very badly is to rage. And to rage and to bang my huge feminist drum and call people out that need to be called out for behavior that is inappropriate and should not and will not be tolerated, especially from grown-ass adults. However, the other half of me thinks, don't feed the trolls. Fighting fire with fire burns the whole world down. There's already enough negativity on the internet. Show them how to be. So that's the track I'm hoping this video takes. Without getting into any kind of details at all, really, some very lovely female friends of mine have been made to deal with some very unfortunate male human beings on the internet this week who have said and done things that are inappropriate. And when they tried to address that behavior, they were shouted down and their voices were, well, their voices weren't silenced, but an attempt was made to silence their voices. Because they are incredibly brave and incredibly beautiful, they stood their ground and got out of the situation that needed to be gotten out of. But it has made me think about some things. And the first thing that it continues to make me think about that really upsets me, that really makes me angry, is this conflagration of free speech with the freedom to speak without consequences. And they are not the same thing for anybody. We live, if you are lucky enough to live in America or the UK or most of Western Europe, any democratic society, you most likely have the right to free speech. And you can say what you think and you can say what you believe, and you're allowed to do that and to hold those beliefs and feelings. However, along with that seems to have developed this idea that your right to free speech means that nobody can do or say anything in response to what you say, or else they're trampling your right to free speech. And that's not how it works, folks. You can say what you want and I can say what I want, but we both have to face consequences for the things that we do and say. This is why recent bullying legal cases have come up with people being held responsible for the actions other people take based on their words. It's why we have things like legal libel and lawsuits, because if you say something that isn't true and that causes harm to another person, that's not okay. You can't just say whatever you want and not expect any consequences. So I just wanted to get that out there. I feel like it's a lesson that we can all be reminded of from time to time, and apparently some people still need to learn. The other thing that this whole situation has kind of brought up for me is this idea of what it's like to be female on the internet, and how being female on the internet, in my experience at least, reminds me more than any other venue of being female how difficult it can be. I feel like although everyday sexism and microaggressions and institutional politics still exist, in my day-to-day life, I do not feel as assaulted or as confronted for being a woman in my real life as I do on the internet. And I think this is because on the internet, people feel they can operate behind a veil of anonymity. Again, there's that idea of free speech, especially online, means free speech without consequences, so they can say whatever they want and nobody's going to do or say anything in return. It's tough, man. It's really, really hard. Not every day, not every time, and not all people are like this. I feel like it necessary to give those caveats of it's not all men and it's not all people and it's not all the time. But it's a lot. And the bottom line remains is that it's more for me as a woman than it is for my husband in his online space as a man. And that's just how it is. That's just the way gender politics play out on the internet, and it's, wrapped up in a million other issues and a million other reasons, and it has tie-overs into every other facet of your and my life that we can think of, but it is what it is. So that's my piece. If you're a lady on the internet and you're having one of those weeks that's just really fucking hard and people are just being real dicks, and you're starting to think, man, I don't know about all this. I don't know if I can handle this anymore. Don't leave. Don't go. There are respites and oases of female positivity and power out there for you on the internet. And I'm going to tell you about them right now. I'm going to try and do a couple different platforms or venues, depending on how you like to consume your feminist media. When it comes to here on YouTube, I have, for me, kind of a, is there a Latin for four? I know three would be like the triumvirate, but whatever the quadumvirate, we'll go with that. Of power ladies here on YouTube for me are Jen from Jen V. Campbell, Jean from Jean's Bookish Thoughts, Lena from Just Kiss My Frog, and Chinzia from C.A. Dubois. And I will link all of their channels down below. They are my four go-to women who I have been watching for months and months and months and months. And anytime I need a recommendation or have a question on just about anything, but especially on literature, politics, sexuality, the body, all of those things, those are the ladies I go to try and get my questions answered. Some more recent ladies that I've been watching who I love just as much, but who are just newer to me, include Amanda from Amanda Center, Brooklyn from Wicked Innuendo, Marines from My Name is Marines, and Amanda from Amanda Center, all of whom I will again link down below. If YouTube is not really your thing, there are two really, really great Goodreads groups that I want to recommend to you. The first one I'm sure you have already heard of, and that is Emma Watson's new feminist book club that is kind of taking the internet book headlines by storm, or at least did when it first started, that is called Our Shared Shelf, and I will link that down below. The second one is one that is very recent. Oh, just kidding. Oh, I have three. I just thought of another one. The second one is one, or the next two are ones that have just very recently started. The first one is the Banging Book Club, which is hosted by Lena from Just Kiss My Frog, as well as Hannah Witten and Lucy, I think. I'm so sorry. I think it's Lucy, but I will link that down below. They're doing a year-long book club where every month they're reading a different book about sex and the body. A lot of them have like feminist overlaps. This month they are reading Asking for It by Louise O'Neill, which is a book about date rape and rape culture. So definitely check them out. And then lastly, a one that is just getting off the ground, Jean from Jean's Bookish Thoughts is starting the Feminist Orchestra Book Club, where you can go and bang your feminist drum or trumpet your feminist trumpet and read fiction books. She's focusing on, as much as possible, on LGBTQ themes, racial themes, class, intersectionality, fiction, nonfiction, memoir. I'm sorry you can hear my dog growling in the background. I'm trying really hard not to yell at her. Sorry if you can hear that. But definitely one to check out. If Goodreads isn't really your thing, there are also several podcasts that you can listen to. I highly recommend Call Your Girlfriend if you haven't already started listening. Anne Friedman and Aminatu So are genius. They are hilarious. They will make you feel as though you have actually been their best friend from the minute you start listening. They talk politics and pop culture and periods and religion and body and all of these things. They are incredibly well informed and also incredibly entertaining. There's also two new podcasts that I've recently started listening to. One is called She Does, and this is a podcast that focuses on female entrepreneurs or business women, and a whole wide variety of kind of creative business outlets and more formal business practices, and interviews them for kind of their tips and tricks and secrets and their life history. The other one is called Seriously, SRSLY, and it's two British girls talking about all things pop culture all the time, but with a feminist bent. And then if bookish podcasts are your thing, I could not more highly recommend Bookish Blether, which is Heather and Nicola from Robotnik. I will link the podcast as well as Nicola's YouTube channel down below. And lastly, if absolutely none of those will work for you and you just want some good old-fashioned feminine reporting, please, please, please check out the Mary Sue. I will link down below as well. I also really, really like Jezebel, but the community can be kind of split on how they feel about Jezebel, but I really like both of those media outlets. Also, if you're looking for something that does like a feminist deconstruction of pop culture, check out snarksquad.com. They take recent movies, TV shows, all those kinds of things, and do an episode recap in which they both take the piss out of things and also offer their own set of pop culture commentary. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and all other viewers watching. I feel much better about this video now than when I started. Sometimes it's nice to remind myself that there are positive places on the internet for you to go if you're a lady, or if you're a dude who's lady friendly, which all should be. It shouldn't even be. This video is not one that I wish I had to make anymore. Let me put it that way. But I hope you guys are all having a really good week whenever this goes up. I think it's probably going to go up on a Monday, so I hope you have a good rest of your week ahead of you. But if it's up on a Friday, have a good weekend. All right, guys, signing off. You can comment, like, subscribe, and of course, check me out all over the internet.